Hi everyone, welcome to Unacademy, India's largest learning platform. Before I start with the class, let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is Aishwarya Agarwal and I am a quantitative aptitude trainer with teaching experience of more than 4 years. And during my tenure of 4 years, I have trained more than 1000 students for various management entrances like CAT, GRE and GMAT. Before that, I have done my masters in mathematics from University of Delhi, and prior to that, I have done my masters in I have done graduation in mathematics from Miranda House, University of Delhi. All right. So you guys might be thinking, how can you get the Unacademy subscription? How can you start your classes at Unacademy platform? So the steps for that are very simple. You just have to go to Google Play Store, write Unacademy there, and install the Unacademy Learning app. All right. So as soon as you'll install the learning app, you have to select your goal. Your goal is the subject you want to do the preparation for. So suppose here you want to prepare for CAT, then you have to select your goal as CAT and then continue. All right. So as soon as you select your category, you have to click on get subscription. Okay. So when you click on get subscription, you will have options of choosing between two subscriptions of Unacademy. So one is the plus subscription, other is the iconic subscription. So let us understand the difference between the two and which one should you go for. Okay. So in the plus subscription, you will get the opportunity to study from India's top educators. All the classes would be live and you will be able to interact with the faculty between the classes also. You will be able to clarify your doubts if you have any. Alright, after each and every class, you will get the PDF of what is being taught in the class. The notes would be given after the class, and also you will have access to the live tests and quizzes which happen on Unacademy platform on daily basis. Alright, so these are the benefits of plus subscription. Okay. In the iconic subscription, all the benefits of plus subscription would already be there. Along with that, you will have access to the personalized attention from your educator. Okay, so the classes would be on one-on-one basis. Along with that, you will have the benefit of getting training for other management entrances as well. Okay, test analysis of each and every test would be given to you. All right, so you can choose a subscription which best suits your needs, and accordingly you should start for that. All right, so this is the price of our plus subscription. Okay, so the price for the 12-month subscription is 17,500 and the price for 24-month subscription is 21,000. All right, so if you see, if you compare these prices with the 1 month price, then these prices are pretty reasonable. They are quite reasonable, right, for a preparation of 1 year or 2 year. So guys, if you are planning for CAT 21 attempt or CAT 22 attempt, please go for these subscriptions so that you can start with your classes from right now onwards. All right, further also, if you want any discount over the fees of plus subscription, then you can use my code AAISH10 so that you can get an instant 10% off over the fee. All right, so now this is the price of our iconic subscription. So for iconic subscription, the price for 12 months is 30,000 and the price for 24 months is 41,000. Here also you can use my code AAISH10. Apply this code to get instant 10% off over the entire fee. I hope the price is clear. So these are our star performers of this year. They have excelled CAT 2020. They have got 99 plus percentile in CAT this year. Okay, so you guys can also be among them, right? So these were all the students of a plus subscription. Go for the subscription so that your name can also be in this list next year. Now, so this is the information about the new batches that were started yesterday. Okay, so these batches have already started. So you still have time to enroll for these batches. Go for these batches so that you don't miss any class further. You might have missed just a one class. That class would be repeated for you, and you can start with those classes right now. Okay, you also have a very wonderful opportunity with us. This is our weekly scholarship test, Unacademy Combat, right? So if you appear for this test and if you excel in this test, if you get a very good score in this test, then you will be eligible for scholarships up to 55 lakhs. All right, so please guys, go ahead for this test so that you would be able to win these awesome scholarships. All right, so let us start with the course now. So I'll be taking a class on clocks today. Okay, so this is an important part of logical reasoning. So you might find one or two questions from clock in your logical reasoning set. Okay, so let us see how do we approach such type of questions. Okay, all right. So we all know how to see time in a clock. All right, we do this daily, right? So what type of questions come under this category? What types of questions come under the section clocks in logical reasoning? How is reasoning involved in clocks? So we will be solving a few questions related to this topic, and believe me, this is a very interesting topic, and I'm sure you'll have fun in the entire class. Okay, let's see. Let's start. All right. So we already know what a clock is. We already know, I'm sure that all of you know how to check time in a clock. Okay. So if this is my clock, I'm just drawing a rough figure. Here we have 12. Here we have 6. This is 3. This is 9. Okay. So these are the different numbers which are marked on the clock. Okay. Each number represent an hour. All right. So let's see. So in our clock, we have three hands. One is the hour hand, other is the minute hand, and third is the second hand. Okay. So in most of the questions, they will involve just the hour hand and the minute hand. Okay. So let's try to solve this question. So now in the questions involving clocks and in clocks in general also, you know that the hour hand and the minute hand move continuously. So the angle between both these hands would change. Okay, the angle would be changing. Okay, so the angle that forms between a hour hand and a minute hand is between 0 degrees to 180 degrees. Okay, so this we have to be very careful about. So if this is my hour hand and this is the minute hand somewhere, then this angle is formed between these two hands. Okay, the two angles are formed. This is one angle and this is other, the reflex angle, right? So in the questions, whenever they will be asking you for the value of the angle formed between the two hands of the clock, you will always write the angle which is less than 180 degree. We will not mention the reflex angle there. Okay, so I hope this point is clear to you. Please be careful about this point. Okay, now we know that in 1 hour, in 1 hour, a minute hand covers the entire 360 degrees, right? In 1 hour, this minute hand, the longer hand, covers the entire 360 degree, the entire round of the clock it covers, right? So can I write that since in 1 hour the minute hand covers 360 degree. It means in 60 minutes, the minute hand covers 360 degrees. All right. So in 1 minute, the minute hand would cover 360 by 60 degrees, which is equal to 6 degrees. Okay. So this you should know. This you should learn by heart, that the minute hand covers 6 degrees in a minute. In 1 minute, right? A minute hand covers 6 degrees in a minute. All right. So this we have to remember. Let's see the next point. Similarly, hour hand. So an hour hand covers 360 degree in 12 hours. Okay, so an hour hand covers 360 degrees in 12 hours. So in 1 hour, the hour hand would cover 360 by 12 degrees. It means in 60 minutes, the hour hand would cover 360 by 12 degrees. So it means in 1 minute, the hour hand would cover 360 by 12 divided by 60 degrees. Okay, so if you solve this, you will get that this thing is equal to 0.5 degrees. Okay, so the hour hand covers 0.5 degrees in a minute. Okay, so these are the two figures that you should remember, that minute hand covers 6 degrees in a minute and hour hand covers 0.5 degrees in a minute. The calculations for this is very simple. But if in your exam such type of question will come related to clocks, then you won't have time to calculate these numbers again and again. So these are the two numbers which would be useful in the question. So it is a good idea to learn these numbers. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you, the very basics of clocks. If there is any difficulty, you can ask in the chat box. Yes. Is there any difficulty in the in whatever we have discussed right now? Yes, please give me a thumbs up so that I can proceed ahead. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Okay. Now these are certain facts that we need to see. Let's see these facts. So in a clock, in 12 hours, that is one round of the clock, the minute hand and the hour hand coincides 11 times. Coincides means they meet each other, right? So the minute hand and the hour hand coincide for 11 number of times in one round of the clock, that is 12 hours. All right. Similarly, the minute hand and the hour hand are in opposite directions 11 times. Okay, coinciding means this. At 12 o'clock, the hour hand and the minute hand coincide with each other. So this thing is formed in a clock 11 times in 12 hours. Okay, so in 24 hours, that is in one day, this happens for 22 times. Okay, now let's see here. The minute hand and the hour hand are in opposite direction also 11 times. Opposite direction means this. One hand is this, other hand is this. This is the minute hand, this is the hour hand. All right, 6 o'clock kind of situation. So this also happens 11 times in 12 hours. So how many times in 24 hours? That is how many times in a day? 22 times in a day. All right, so this is the figure that you need to remember. Please remember, these numbers will be helpful during the questions. Let's see here. Any other angle is formed 22 times. The angle, see, at this for this point, when the minute hand and the hour hand coincide, means the angle formed between the minute hand and the hour hand is equal to 0 degrees. Okay, similarly here, the angle formed between the minute hand and the hour hand is equal to 180 degrees here. Okay, so apart from 0 degree and 180 degree, in between, whatever angle comes in between 0 degree and 180 degree, that angle is formed 22 times in 12 hours. It means 44 times in a day. Okay, 44 times in a day, 22 times in 12 hours. Okay, so I hope these three figures are clear. Okay, all right. Let's see another point. It says that the angle between hands of the clock is given by this formula. Now see, what type of questions might come in your exam? They will give you what is the angle between the two hands of the clock. You have to figure out what time is it. Or they will give you what time is it and you have to figure out the angle between the hands of the clock, right? So these are the two things that can be found using this formula which we are going to do right now. Okay, so the formula says that theta, this theta stands for angle. Theta is equals to 11 by 2 m minus 30 hours, 30 h. Okay, here m represents your minutes and h represents the hours. So this is the formula to calculate. So this formula would be very useful in your clocks question. So please remember this. Take a note of this formula. All right. Okay. So let's see how will we solve questions related to this formula. Now see, there is an absolute value function. This is, we have modulus function here, right? It means that if I'll get negative answer inside, it will be positive when it will come out. Okay, so whether it is 11m by 2 minus 30h or 30h minus 11m by 2, it is the same thing. Okay, so it hardly matters. Let's solve the questions. Okay, let's see this question. So the question is, what is the angle between the minute hand and the hour hand of the clock at 2 hours 40 minutes? 2 hours 40 minutes पे क्या angle form होगा? Okay, so can we solve this question manually? Let's see. So 12 is here, 3 is here, it means 2 is here. Okay, and at 40 minutes here, around 8. So जो आपका minute hand है वो ऐसे होगा, and hour hand it would be between 2 and 3, right? This way. This is the hour hand, this is the minute hand, right? So the hour hand would be between 2 and 3 and the minute hand would be at 8. Okay, so at this would be the angle form. We have to find out what is the measure of this angle. Okay, now see, given the option choices to us, we have 20 degrees, 70 degree, 90 degree and 130 degree. Okay, so we have drawn a rough figure, right? From this figure, given these options, we can clearly say that 20, 70 and 90 degree won't be my answer, because we can clearly see that this angle formed between the hour hand and the minute hand would be greater than 90 degree. This would absolutely be an definitely be an obtuse angle. Okay, so on the basis of this information, I can eliminate option A, B and C and say that option D is my answer. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, so let's try to solve this question using the formula. What if I don't have 130 degrees here? I have 120 here, 140 here. Okay, then elimination won't work in such questions. So we have to apply this formula. So we will apply this formula that theta is equals to 11m by 2 minus 30h and try to solve. Okay, now in this question, the value of h, let's write down the formula first. The formula says that theta is equals to 11m by 2 minus 30h. Okay, this is our formula. So let us try to figure out, let us try to solve. Okay, so theta is not given, theta is what we have to find. The value of m is given, which is equal to 40 minutes. So this will be 11 into 40 by 2 minus 30 into 2. Okay, easy. So this is a very easy calculation. We can do this calculation and get the value of angle, and that angle would be my answer. Okay, let's see the next question. Okay, let's try to solve this question. Let us list the formula again here. So the formula is theta is equal to 11m by 2 minus 30h. Okay, so I'll tell you a way. Whenever you solve any questions from a new formula, okay, suppose there is a set of questions, you have to solve those questions using a certain formula, you're doing it for the first time. It is always a good idea to write down the formula every time. Okay, if you write a formula 5 or 6 times, maybe 10 times at max, then definitely it would be stored in your brain. So always write the formula, then you put in the figures, substitute the figures in that formula. Alright, so this is a quick tip that you can follow if you're learning a new concept. Later on, when you're done with the entire concept and you are just practicing, then don't waste your time in writing the formula. You can put in the figures directly, okay? But in the beginning, it is always advisable to write the formula and then you solve the question. Let's see. So in this question, we have to find the time between 5 and 6 o'clock at which the minute hand and the hour hand make an angle of 60 degrees with each other. Okay, so we know that this is a clock. Okay, now we have to find the time between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Okay, so 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock means the hour hand would be somewhere here. It would be between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Right, the hour hand. We have to find the location of the position of the minute hand. Okay, So let us apply this formula. Let us solve the first part of this question. It says that the minute hand and the hour hand of the clock make an angle of 60° with each other. Okay, let's see this question. So I'm giving you a minute. Please apply the formula, then you try to solve this question. Okay, let's solve it together. So the angle given to us here is 60°. Do I know the value of m? No, because I don't know what is the position of the minute hand. What is the position of the hour hand? That I know, that the hour hand is between 5 and 6. So whatever time it would be at 60° angle, it would be 5 hours something, 5 hours some minutes. Okay, so we can take the value of h as 5. So it would be 30 into 5. Alright, so let us do this calculation. So from here I will get 60 is equal to 11m minus 11m by 2 minus 150. So let's solve this. This would be, now here I will consider both the values. I will take the plus value also and minus value also. So let us take the plus value first. So there I'll have 60 is equals to 11m by 2 minus 150. So this would be equal to 11m by 2 is equal to 150 plus 60, which would be equal to 210. So from here I can get the value of m. Alright, so this is when I took the positive thing. When I take the negative sign, I will get 60 is equal to minus 60 is equal to 11m by 2 minus 150. So from here I will get that 11m by 2 is equal to 150 minus 60. 150 minus 60 would be equal to 90°. So I get the value of m is equal to 180 by 11. Alright, so the angle between the hour hand and the minute hand is 60° at the time that we get from here. Okay, so from here I can get the time, and that would be the answer to my first point over here. I hope this is clear to you. I hope you can do this calculations yourself. Okay, you can get this calculated and write the answer. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's do the second point. Overlap. So when will the minute hand and the hour hand overlap? Overlap is at when both the hands make the angle of 0° with each other, right? So 0° means this would be equal to 0, and this is equal to 11m by 2 minus 30h. Okay, so this implies that 30h is equal to 11m by 2. Okay, we already know that the value of h is 5 here, so we will put that, and this would give me that m is equal to 2 into 30 into 5 by 11. Okay, so please solve this, and from here I will get a value of m, and that would be the answer. Okay, so the time would be 5 hours m minutes that we get from here. Okay, let's see the next question. Question number 3, the third point. Are perpendicular to each other. So similarly we will solve this question also, but here I will take the value of theta as 90°. Here I took the value of theta as 0°. Here the value of theta is 60°. Let's see here. So in the fourth question they're asking, the minute hand and the hour hand are on the same straight line, but they are facing opposite directions, right? So opposite direction means the angle formed between the two is equal to 180 degrees. Alright, so the angle formed between the two is 180 degrees. So take the value of theta as 180 degrees here. The value of minute we need to calculate, and the value of r would be equal to 5. Okay, so you can solve using this formula. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, let's move towards the next question. Okay. So the question says that the angle between the hands of a clock is 20 degree and the hour hand is between 2 and 3. What is the time shown by the clock? Let's solve this question. So it says that the hour hand is between 2 and 3. It means the time would be 2 hours some minutes, right? It means that h would be equal to 2. The value of m is what we need to find. Theta is given to us, which is equal to 20 degree. Okay, so the formula for this question is theta is equal to 11m by 2 minus 30h. Okay, so theta is 20 degree is equal to 11m by 2 minus 30 into h, which is 2, so this would be 60. So if I solve this, I will get 11m by 2 is equal to 80. This gives me m is equal to 160 by 11, which will give me, okay, so quickly divide 160 by 11 and tell me what would be the remainder. How will I change this into a mixed fraction? Yes. All right. So we can get the value of m from here, and then we'll see which option is matching, and that option will be my answer. Okay. Let's see the next question. How many times the hands of a clock will be at 70 degree with each other in a day? Okay, so again we'll be using the formula. The formula is 11m by 2 minus 30h. Let's go back to the question. The question says how many times the hands of a clock would be at 70 degree with each other in a day. Now we just need to think first whether this formula would be applicable here, whether it is required here or not. Okay, so if you remember in the beginning of the class we discussed that any angle is formed 22 times in the span of 12 hours. All right, so in 12 hours any angle is formed 22 times. Okay, so the angle 70 degree would be formed for 22 times in 12 hours. Okay, so it means in 24 hours it would be formed 44 times. So we just have to do twice of that. So answer to this question would be 44. Okay, all right. Let's see the next question. Now, in this question, it is asked when the clock shows 20 minutes past 11 o'clock, what is the angle between the two hands of the clock? Okay, so here we have the time. We have to find out the angle. Let's see how will we do that. So we'll be using the formula theta is equals to 11m by 2 minus 30h. Okay, let's see. So here the value of m is given to be 20 and the value of h is given to be 11. Okay, let's find the angle. The angle here theta is equal to 11 into 20 by 2 minus 30 into 11. Okay, so let's solve this. So from here I will get this value as 220 by 2 minus 330. Okay, so this would give me 110 minus 330, and this would be equal to 220 degrees. Okay, so now please remember that whenever we give the answer, we give the answer between 0 to 180 degrees. All right, so I will subtract it from the complete angle 360 degree. So we'll do 360 degree minus 220, and this would give me 140 degrees. So answer to this question would be option choice D. 140 is the correct answer. All right, okay, let's move towards the next question. So the question says that two clocks are showing correct time at 4 p.m. One clock loses 3.5 minutes in an hour. Okay, so the clocks are showing the correct time at 4 p.m. One clock loses 3.5 minutes in 1 hour. So this is clock 1. Let us take this as clock 1, and let us take here clock 2. Okay, so this is losing 3.5 minutes in an hour, and the second clock is gaining 2.5 minutes in an hour. Okay, at 10 p.m. on the same day, how much time will the two clocks differ? Okay, so at 10 p.m., how many hours would be passed from 4 p.m.? 6 hours. Alright, so how many minutes are lost in 6 hours? If in 1 minute 3.5 minutes are lost, it means in 6 hours, minutes lost would be equal to 6 into 3.5, which would be equal to 21 minutes. Okay, so at 10 p.m., okay, the clock is going 20 minutes late. Okay, so what is the time at this moment? At 10 p.m. the wrong time displayed would be equal to 9:39. Okay, now let us come to this clock. Here it is gaining 2.5 minutes per hour. Alright, so after 6, at 10 p.m., after 6 hours, in 6 hours, minutes gained would be equal to 6 into 2.5. Okay, so 6 into 2.5 would be equal to 15 minutes. Okay, so the time, the incorrect time in this clock would be equal to 10:15. Now we have to find what is the difference in time from here to here, which we can clearly see it is equal to 21 plus 15 minutes, which is 36 minutes. So answer to this question is option B. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's move towards the next question. This question says that the reflection of a wall clock in a mirror shows the time as 3 hours 40 minutes. What is the actual time? Okay, so reflection of a clock in a mirror. So let's see what would be the position. How would a clock look like at 3 hours 4 minutes? So if this is 3, this is 6, 4, 5, 9, 8 and 7. Alright, so at 3 hours 40 minutes, the hour hand would be between 3 and 4. It would be more towards the 4, right? Because it is past 30 minutes, it is 40 minutes. And at 40 minutes, the minute hand would be at 8. Alright, so this is the time which is displayed. Now, if I have to make a mirror image of this, okay, then this is 9, this is 3, this is 6, 4, 5, 7 and 8. Okay, so if I make mirror image of this, the hour hand here would lie between 8 and 9, but it would be slightly towards 8 as it is the reflection of 4, and the minute hand would be on 4 completely. So the time which is displayed here is 8:20. So answer to this question would be option D, which is 8 hours 20 minutes. I hope this is clear. Okay, let's see here. Now, in this question, the question is asking if the second hand moves by 240 degrees, then by how many degrees does the minute hand move in the same time? Okay, so if the second hand moves by 240 degrees, now we know that in 1 minute, the second hand covers 360 degrees. All right, so this means that in 60 seconds, it moves 360 by 6, sorry, it moves 360 degrees only. All right, so in now 1 degree, sorry, let's do this again. Okay, sorry, it got disconnected for a moment in between. Let's do this again. Yes, so in 60 seconds, the second hand moves by 360 degrees. All right, so 1 degree to cover 1 degree, it takes 60 by 360 seconds. All right, so 240 degrees is covered in 60 by 360 into 240 seconds. Okay, so let's see how much would this be equal to. This would be equals to 2 by 3 minute. Right, so to cover 240 degrees, the second hand takes 2/3 of a minute. All right, now we know that in a minute, the minute hand covers 6 degrees. Right, we've already discussed this in the beginning of the class. So in a minute, in 2 by 3 minutes, the minute hand would cover 6 into 2 by 3 degrees, which is equal to 4 degree. So answer to this question would be option D. So what we did in this question is that we first found out how much the second hand cover in 240, how much time will the second hand take to cover 240 degrees. Then we will find in that much amount of time the minute hand would travel for how many degrees, and that would be answer. All right, okay, let's see. So these were the questions. Okay, so you will find such type of questions related to clocks in your exam. All right, so please be ready to face such type of questions. Keep practicing, solve a lot of questions on clocks, and try to solve these questions once again, so that you will get the complete hold over the topic. Okay, now please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this video. Subscribe to this channel so that you can get the regular notification and regular updates about the content about the class schedule. Okay, also if your friends and family are preparing for CAT, please share this video with them so that they can also get benefited from them. Okay, so on the Unacademy subscription, over the plus subscription, please go for the subscription, as if you're planning to go for the CAT 21 or the CAT 22 intake, the CAT 21 and the CAT 22 attempt. For that, you have to use my code AAISH10 to get the instant 10% off over the entire fee. Thank you. Keep practicing.